You know, we talk often about how underpaid our first responders are, or people like our school teachers, especially when you consider how vital and important their work is. But we are going to now learn that all of us, including our school teachers, no matter how little you think you earn, we want you to learn the fact that anybody can be a millionaire. This gentleman knows it because he surveyed 10,000 real-life, everyday millionaires for this, his new book. Please welcome back to our show. He's got the greatest voice I've ever heard in my life. He's the author of Everyday Millionaires. Again, 10,000 people to prove it. This is Chris Hogan.
Thank you. Yes.
So,
yes.
Chris, you know, I work a lot with firefighters. I'm with the Dennis Leary Firefighters Foundation. We've had many a teacher on our show that we celebrate, people that have sacrificed, that are paying out of their own pockets to buy their kids books, paper, school supplies. Literally, you have met everyday people, our teachers, our neighbors, people in our community, and they have become millionaires.
They really have, Rachel, and it's not an accident.
Okay.
You know, these are people that are very intentional and very consistent with how they go about living. And so that's what I want to encourage people about, is just understanding where you
the
are.
Set of habits that these folks have in common.
And you can do it. And you've got neighbors that are beside you. You've got friends. These are people that have hit millionaire status, but they don't flaunt it. But they're very consistent and they're very focused.
Okay. So you've done some, we're going to start with an exercise for the audience, and you've done some questioning of them as well. So you take it away, because I don't know where we're going here.
Okay.
I wanted to be inquisitive about this, so literally I don't know where you're going.
Okay, well, what I wanted to do was find out how much of your audience is living like millionaires. So I want to ask everyone, if you would, please stand up. Okay, they're looking at me like, sure, are you sure? Like, I'm serious. Okay, please stand up. Now, I want you to remain standing if you use coupons. If you don't use coupons, have a seat. Our study showed that 93% of millionaires use coupons. Okay, so it's something really important.
Show that are brilliant. They can literally get paid money back for buying groceries.
Absolutely. So big. Okay, this next one, this is big. Remain standing if you spend $200 or less at restaurants each month. Okay, if you spend more than $200, have a seat. Okay?
Wow, you lost a lot of people there.
A lot of people.
Man down!
Listen, on average, millionaires spend less than $200 each month at restaurants.
They cook.
They use the stove, Rachel, that they have in their home. Okay, this next one's big. Remain standing if you have a credit card balance that you could pay off immediately. Okay? So if you got a credit card balance you couldn't pay off immediately, have a seat.
Boy, they are dropping now.
They are. 73% of millionaires don't carry a credit card balance. Okay, so it means they're staying averse to debt. Okay, this next one. Remain standing if you use an investment professional or a financial planner. If you don't use one, have a seat. Okay?
Wow.
Our study showed that 68% of millionaires use an investment professional, so they're not going it alone. So
you are now well under 10% of the studio audience.
I know it. Yeah. And the people that are standing, you all are living the millionaire kind of life and those kinds of habits. So give them a hand. Great job.
Now they can sit, though, right?
They can sit down now,
you can sit down.
But for those of you...
apparently you can all afford to give money to your neighbors.
But listen, for those of you that are sitting down, even through those questions, remember, it's about decisions. It's about being intentional with money. So we also surveyed your audience, right?
Okay.
And I found out 57% of them expect to not receive an inheritance. 57% on average.
I would be a part of that.
Yes,
probably,
yeah. The millionaires that we studied, you had 79% of them didn't inherit a dime.
Yep.
That meant that they built wealth themselves. They didn't get anything from a family member or a rich aunt.
They made it themselves.
They did it themselves. Also, 69% of your audience uses safe investments. They're using the 401k or the 403b, which those are employee-sponsored plan. It's a great way to build wealth. Millionaires use that. Also, 54% of your audience attended a high-end university or private school.
That translates to debt.
Yes. 68% of the millionaires we studied, they did not do that. Okay, so they were allergic to debt even with education. And then finally, get this, 57% of your audience makes a six-figure income or more.
Dang.
Okay? 57%. I want you to know this. Our studies showed that 1/3 of millionaires never made six figures. They never made $100,000 or more, which means it goes back to the people that are teachers. And see, we believe these things. We believe that you have to have...
That's where the discipline comes in.
That's right.
So let's move on to how we can learn the disciplines of becoming millionaires.
Yes. Well, a couple of years ago, I wrote my first book, Retire Inspired, because I wanted America to have a wake-up call and understand the government's not going to take care of you. You've got to put money aside if you want some to spend. So I developed a free tool called the RIQ, the Retire Inspired Quotient.